Hi Taurus, welcome to your November 2021 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. Remember, they are general readings, so not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So before we get into it, don't forget to check out your 2022 tarot scopes. They are up and out there ready for purchase. I worked really hard on these. There's none of them that are under 90 minutes long. So I can assure you I've really put my heart and soul into them. You can get one for $4.99. You can get your sun, moon and ascendant for $12.97, or you can get the bundle of all 12 for $24.99. I wanted to make them accessible for everybody. The link is in the description box below and you'll be able to find one of those things floating about somewhere as well. All right, for your actions and interactions with the world at large, you have the Magician card, and I got this funny feeling. This is a lot to do with this eclipse that's going to be brewing all month, right? So remember, this is a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. That's your sign of your sun, your moon or your ascendant. This is a big deal. Why? Not only because it's an eclipse, not only because this is kind of like a big fated moment or a moment of pivot or change for you, but more importantly because this kicks off the next 18 months worth of eclipses in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. This is a big deal. Do not waste this month. Now, that being said, you got the Magician card in your actions and interactions with the world at large. Quite frankly, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to create for yourself? What do you want to bring more of into your life? What is it that you envision when you think about the phrase being at the height of my game or being at the top of my game? What do you think of? The Magician card gives you a chance this month, or will likely see somebody giving you a chance to catapult yourself into the stratosphere. Now, the thing that you need to remember with this eclipse energy, we're going to talk about it when I get to that point. It's not an event, right? It doesn't just happen on the day and that's it. It fizzles out. It's kind of like the universe gives you an invisible toolkit and says, there you go. And it will unpack, or you'll kind of go through it over the next 3 to 6 months. Now, that being said, this could be a month where anything to do with communications, marketing, media are absolutely going to be highlighted for you. This could also be a time where you are ready to chase the best version of yourself. This is about you really getting out there and not holding back in any way, shape or form. I love this for you. For your money and materials, you've got the 10 of Swords. Okay, so not a great card for money, let's be honest, call a spade, but there's a few ways that you could see this. One of them could be, this could be the end of a debt. For some of you, when it comes to your finances, maybe you're deciding that there's something that you're paying for that you're no longer ready to do. Now, this could be, because you've got this right next to the Magician card, this could be you deciding that you're no longer willing to pay for something that is, you know, maybe you've got, I almost want to say like something that's like a status symbol, right? So maybe you've got a car and you love it and it, you know, it turns heads and all the rest of it, but you're just like, do you know what? Why am I paying for this? Yeah, it was nice to have, and it's nice to have luxury and all the rest of it, but actually I could put this money to way better use. So there's something here where you're being really honest about something that you have as a status symbol, where you're kind of saying, okay, you know what? It was fun, it was nice, it was cool, but actually it's not really that practical, and I can put that money to better use for something else that I have in my life. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the 10 of Swords can be quite challenging for this. So I really want you to look after yourself this month. I mean, because you've got it right next to the Magician, maybe go to a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, anybody that's qualified in the holistic arts, or alternative medicines, let's say. So, you know, you could get a lot out of that. And if you're feeling quite energetically pent up, we're heading towards a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign, right? So imagine how everybody feels around the full moon anyway. times that by 8, give it a couple of steroids and pump it up with a bike pump. That's that's eclipse energy in a nutshell. That's how I see it anyway. All right, for your communications and conversations, you have the 2 of Cups. I love this, right? So yes, it falls next to the 10 of Swords, and we do need to talk about that. For some of you, this could be a partnership, a collaboration of some sort that maybe doesn't go ahead. For some of you, maybe this month, maybe a partnership that you thought was going ahead kind of doesn't happen. Maybe maybe you've got a current business partner, a friend or a loved one of some sort that you are connected to, and because you've got that 10 of Swords, maybe there's a financial challenge or issue that you're going to have to really debate about. Now, it is the 2 of Cups, which is such a harmonious energy that you can't really mess this up too much. Now, what I will say to you is, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be a time where wherever you work, there's always someone that tries to take you under their, like, stick with me, sweetheart, I'll teach you everything, and you're like, oh fucking, here we go. Right, this could be one of those months where somebody kind of befriends you, or puts an arm around you, and they could really mean well, but it's kind of like they don't realize that everything that they tell you already know. It reminds me of this sketch from a really funny comedian, and I've forgotten her name, but she's hilarious, and she was talking about, like, when your kids talk to you, just like zero value input. Hilarious. Look it up, YouTube it. Good giggle. Now, that being said, what is really important, your communications are blessed this month, right? They're harmonious. There's going to be good talks. There's going to be good talks of good things shaping up. I do have to say there doesn't appear to be too much substance behind this as yet. So at the moment, one of the things that I would say to you is anything where you're having what feels like an important conversation, don't expect it to materialize overnight, because then you're going to get frustrated and you're likely to do something to rock that boat. All right, so just find a way to go at pace. Now, when it comes to your work, I would say in general, right, this is a month where going it alone is probably not the right way to go. It does fall next to the 10 of Swords, so I will say this: if you're going into partnership or business with someone where money is involved, make sure that everything is fair and above board. So if there is any fine print to be read, just be sure to check it out. And then for your heart and half, you've got the 7 of Swords. Okay, so all right, let's start with those of you that are single, because you've got this next to the 2 of Cups. There's definitely some potential out there, right? So this could be somebody new, somebody that's already in the picture. There's definitely someone coming in or is going to be fulfilling that romantic potential sphere. The challenge that you have is, if this is somebody new, it may be that this person isn't as single as they tell you they are. It may be that this person isn't as available as they make themselves to appear. And when I say available, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's someone else in the picture. Maybe this is somebody that already works like 50, 60 hours a week, and they're like, yeah, I dedicate so much time to my partner. And then, you're sat at the dinner table and they're constantly on their phone working, or, you can never get hold of them. You have to speak to their secretary. I mean, it's a nice ideal, right, to be with someone that's super successful. How that translates at times may not necessarily be as glamorous. So just something to think about. And then for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is a somewhat more challenging energy, because it does suggest that there is a secret or a potential, a lie here of some sort. Now, sometimes our loved ones lie to us because they think that it's going to protect us. Sometimes our loved ones, don't tell us things because they know what our reactions are going to be like. Right? When you're little and you break something and you don't tell your mum about it. Why? Because she's going to go mental. Let her discover it on her own. It's gonna save me a whole world of hassle and hurt. You know, all jokes aside, this could be one of those things. So don't freak out. Just take some time to consider that whatever story you're being given by your significant other, it may not be the full truth, and there may be a reason behind them not telling you everything. Maybe it will freak you out. Maybe it will upset you. You know, like it's sometimes it's not about the fact that someone's lying to you because they're hiding a clandestine relationship. Sometimes they don't tell you they're having trouble at work because they know that you're going to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, are you going to get fired? What are we going to do? Da, 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 da. Nobody needs that, right? So just take a moment to consider. For your weeks of the month of November, for the first week of the month, you have the Chariot card with the Magician. That is nice. This is you, right? Basically hopping on your horse and saying, I'm gonna fucking rock this, right? Whatever it is that you have plans to do, whatever it is that you envision yourself doing, whether this is as an employee, whether it's as a business owner, whether it's as a parent, whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is, this is you really deciding, I'm going to make the best that I can out of it. And I've got to say, there's some sort of success waiting for you, possibly an accolade for some of you. I will say that this could also, I would go as far as to say that this could even connect you to some sort of international connection, client, commitment, like very, very possible. If you've got your own business, this could be something like you bagging a big deal client, or a big fish, as I call them. All right, so really nice. For your second week of the month, you've got the Empress card, which is your card as a Taurus, with the Ten of Swords. So this is interesting. I would definitely, this month, especially if you feel quite sort of pent up in your energy, especially if you're feeling your body a bit more sluggish or a bit more sensitive, alternative healing methods, you will get so much out of them this month. I'm talking massage, I'm talking Reiki, acupuncture, chiropractor, osteopath, all of those stuffs. You will get so much out of this month. It's unreal. When it comes to your money and materials, this suggests to me that this month, give yourself some time to really consider what you need, first of all, and that thing that everyone talks about when they talk about Taurus, what you actually value, like financially, when it comes to money, materials, finances. What are the things that you actually value? Because like I said, whatever you have that's like a status symbol, by releasing it now, you're making way for something actually better than that to come in. It's kind of like financially, I feel like this is one of those months where it's like 2 steps back to jump 7 steps forward. All right, so just don't freak out. For your third week of the month, you've got the Moon card with the 2 of Cups. There is some stuff around partnerships this month, all right, especially around this third week of the month. Some of them are going to be great, and some of them are going to be a bit rocky or a bit iffy, and it's really up to you to be discerning about what it is that you can do, what it is that you can't do, and more importantly, where it is that somebody's actually going to be able to deliver on what they're saying they're going to deliver. All right, so that part of this is really, really important. I don't feel that this is anybody's trying to do you any harm, or what. You guys know me, right? If I felt that, I'd tell you straight up. I just feel like there's a sense of there's something not clear this month around partnerships, around work, around business. And it's not because anybody's going out of their way to be, bad or dangerous or whatever. It might just be miscommunication, right? And I think as well, if I'm not mistaken, Mercury is going to be moving into Sag soon. And the caveat that we have when Mercury moves into Sagittarius, people tend to hype things up. It's kind of like that, oh my gosh, I turned a corner and there were like 1,000 people there. Okay, there were 3 people talking in a huddle and you got scared. Do you see what I mean? Like, so maybe this could be somebody, if you do this with me, I'm going to make you a millionaire and da-da-da. And it's like, okay, well, what they could probably do is expand your business a little bit, but they might not be able to make you a millionaire in the time that you're hoping. And that just what I'm saying is just watch out for things and look for the fine print. I don't feel like anybody's trying to screw you over. I just want you to be 100% clear on what you're actually getting versus what you're being told you're getting. For your 4th week of the month, you have the Hermit card. Beautiful. All right. So what this suggests to me is you are doing the work this month around partnerships, commitments, communications. And it's like, to be honest with you, you will know if somebody's BSing you, if somebody's maybe not being as upfront or above board as they possibly can, you will know straight away this month, right? There'll be no getting around you, which is great. It just suggests to me that this month, I kind of feel like whoever it is that you're connecting with, partnering up with, all the rest of it, excuse me, it's like they're expecting you to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, rah! And you're just going to be like, okay, I'm just observing. It's nice to hear this. This is great. I'm really excited, but I want to be practical. I want to be Taurus, right? So I actually like this for you. Okay, your new moon in the sign of Scorpio is taking place. You have the gate 42 and closing, right? So interestingly enough, you see how she's kind of lifting the veil there to something else. You've got the word closing. So there's a juxtaposition in this card that basically says, as one door closes, so another one opens. But sometimes it's about taking the path less traveled. So this new moon is very likely to initiate some new path or open up some new avenue for you, which is great. It's just that it may not be, right? It may not be everything that this person is saying that it's going to be, but that doesn't mean that it's not got the potential, right? And more importantly, it doesn't mean that that's not a step in the right direction to what it is that you're actually really wanting, what it is that you're really heading towards. And then that full moon lunar eclipse, you have the gate 30 and holding. And this card always kind of says to me, it's about launching onto something or launching into something with everything that you have, grabbing the dream, grabbing life, grabbing the bull, Taurus bull, by the horns and saying, fuck yeah, let's ride this puppy and let's do it, right? So this full moon in your sign, whether it's your sun, your moon, or your ascendant that you're watching for, is really asking you to get powerful, dig deep, right? Dig deep into what it is that you really want and use that full moon energy as it kicks off in your sign. And, you know, we're going to have these eclipses now bouncing between you and Scorpio over the course of the next 18 months. Use this full moon as it's like, you know, when you see people jump onto a trampoline and then they go whew, or like when you see the gymnasts do those crazy tricks, right? Use this full moon as your jump into the stratosphere, all right? So no fear, you got to go for it. And like I said, just be clear is what I really want to say to you. I almost feel like, and you'll see it because you've got the Hermit card there. I kind of feel like you'll be like, okay, they want me to go for this and they really want me to be a part of it. And that means that it's going to be good for me, but it's also really going to be good for them. Okay, I'll bite. Do you know what I mean? I'm aware that it may not be everything that they're hyping it up to be. And that's fine. As long as you've got those wits about you, I think that you could see some really wonderful results out of the partnerships that come up this month. And more importantly, I think they could be really the right steps in the right direction. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Check out your 2022 Taroscope in the description box below or one of those little floating things. Take care and I'll see you soon.